And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, September the 28th, 2019. It is Season 13, Episode 35. I am Scott.
I'm RJ.
And I am Matt.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Clap, clap.
If you would like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228. Check out InGameChat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook at InGameChat. You can email us, everyone, at InGameChat.net. Streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/InGameChat, and you will be able to watch us.
See the pattern? Yeah, see the pattern?
Yeah, I know. In-Game Chat. In-Game Chat. That is our name. If you go there, you can watch the show live while we broadcast, and you can also chat with everybody in the chat room if you'd like to, or, you know, if you don't want to watch us, you can just keep it on in the background and listen to us. If you don't want to listen to us, you can keep us on in the background muted and watch us. A little weird, but all right. You do you. Welcome to the show, everybody. We got Matt back. He has missed a week or so, good to have him back. And, of course, RJ and I, ever faithful, here all the time. So, welcome to the show. What are we going to... I culled our news because we hadn't gotten to so much of it, so I decided to cull some of it.
Yeah.
Get that all out of the way, and we'll do... I hope to knock out a good chunk of this stuff today, so that we can have a nice clean slate going into October. Remember, October is when all of our bumper music and stuff will be scary games. Will it be stuff we've used before? Probably. Will it be stuff we've never used before? Then probably. A little mix of everything there as we come. Will it be stuff you guys suggest? Probably. So, yeah. That's we've done that every single October now for I don't know how many years. And so, you know, keep the tradition going. Why not? First up is RJ, though. What's been on your backlog, sir?
What's shakalackin'?
Backlog.
Well, not necessarily your backlog. What have you been playing?
We don't run out of time. We go for my backlog.
We don't have no, not at all.
No.
Although with Steam being down just a minute ago, my backlog was very minimal.
Oh, your 300
Ever how many games were gone, you know? I was like, oh, well, you know what? Not so much of a backlog anymore that I can't access Steam.
Yeah. I'm still playing a bit of the Golf Club, a little bit here and there for the most of the week. A little bit of Street Fighter 5 here and there. Mortal Kombat had an update on its game data, so I picked that up a little bit as well. But recently, this past Friday, I was playing Code Vein.
Yeah, I bet you were.
I was playing that a lot.
No surprise there.
Yeah. I was having a good time with it. Overall. I'm just doing the offline right now. Haven't been able to play it online yet, and I've only been able to scratch the surface because, for the most part, I've been stuck in character creation mode because there's so many options available to you when creating a character in there. You try to get it just right. You'll end up spending hours getting the details just where you want it. Now, the best way to describe this for me is anime Dark Souls, with a mix of Bloodborne mixed in.
Yeah?
Yeah, basically, because the fighting system isn't just like Dark Souls. First of all, I don't have a shield. You got weapons galore in the game. That's no problem. But in terms of defense, the only thing you have is blocking with your weapon, which still hurts if you taking damage, and parrying, which I've never been good at, even in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I've never been good at parrying, so I got a long road ahead of me in terms of getting that system down yet. A little bit of exploration, but, you know, finding items here and there, fighting enemies, respawning enemies every time you check your get back to the checkpoint, which is not a bonfire, a little plant called a missile, and you respawn at that and level up and save your game, do all the progress just like a bonfire would in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only drawback I got is character creation. Everybody looks the same. Everybody looks the same. They got that Bishojo look to it. Mm-hmm. Pretty boy, pretty girl look. And
that's what that means.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, not a lot of variation in that, other than face and clothes. Body structures, types like that, pretty much they're to the letter straw, all the same on all the same across the board.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I'm having a good time with it. But when I get down to the story mode and get some more time with it, I'll have a more in-depth review about that.
All right. And Matt, well, have you played anything else?
No, just that.
Just that.
This week.
All right. Matt, what about you?
I've been playing Arma 3 with Kevin for a little bit. That's been interesting, fun. Starting to get more of the hang of that and doing better, not dying nearly as much.
Yeah.
Been playing a little Borderlands 3. And, I mean, it's Borderlands. I enjoy it. I mean, it's the same formula as 1 and 2, so...
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. But this one, at least you're going to different worlds, so it's not just on Pandora. So I've actually been to 2 different worlds already, so change of scenery is kind of nice.
What's the difference between worlds, if you've noticed anything on that?
Just the look of different. Not everything's all, Mad Maxian Dust Bowl. One world was like a more city environment in a way.
With like modernized city type, that type of thing?
Yeah,
okay.
There's actually like building structures you're going through.
Okay.
And then I was on another Promethea, and that's, more like hillsides. I don't know, just like
out in the pasture.
In a way, yeah. Think more like Tibetan monasteries in a way.
Okay.
But just different so far. So
okay.
I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Whatever. And then the other night, me, Kevin, and Jeremy got into we were playing the beta of Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Okay.
And interesting.
Yeah, I heard the chat. I read the chat that was going on.
Yeah, it'll take me a while to get used to it, but because I played so much Wildlands.
Yeah.
It's like they took Division and put that formula in Ghost Recon. Which
I don't know if those are two great tastes that taste great together.
Yeah, like I said, it's different. One of the things I liked about Wildlands is and I understand like some people say that like the weapons, right? You get a weapon if you get a good, weapons just have their stats, right? There's no levels. It's just here's the weapon, and it's easy in Wildlands to get a very good loadout really early on if you know where to look for it, right? And then you just use that the rest of the game. Sure, whatever. But in this one, you have it's in a way like Borderlands. The weapons have levels, so you could get like a Desert Eagle that's like level 5, and then you do a little bit more, then you get a Desert Eagle that's like a higher level, and if you get like a good, like a green level drop of a weapon, you're like, oh wow, that's really cool, but it becomes obsolete soon.
Yeah, it is like Borderlands, because I remember playing Borderlands, first Borderlands, and I had gotten hold of a rifle that the damage was so good, but it was like level 20 something, but I couldn't find a weapon, no matter what the level, better than that rifle. The damage was that good. I mean, the randomization of it, but I get the part where you just have to dump a weapon every time you pick. You can't get too attached to it because you're going to find something better later on.
So maybe the best thing is just a max level as soon as you can, and then continue with the story or whatever. Because then once you have the weapons at max level, then you could actually get the loadout that you want and just do what you want to do.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's just a beta too. But how much of the beta is going to actually? I think it's like a server test.
Have you already bought the game?
Huh?
Have you already bought the game?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I did, and I mean, I'll play it.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
If you did, it's not. There's no wrong answer there.
Yeah, no, I'll play it. I mean, because it's something fun. I enjoy the series.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing.
When's it release?
The 4th.
Yeah, I remember when this was talked about, and I said, I'd like to be there if we can all get there together, but I mean, Destiny's just going to kill me.
Yeah.
I say it's going to kill me. Whatever. That's where my time's going to be devoted. I have to get back on the hamster wheel, and that hamster wheel for me starts.
It's calling you.
Yeah, starts Tuesday. So that'll be my drive. That'll be my push. That'll be my free time. Go on up and smoke. So.
And so, all right. So we were talking about that briefly a little bit before.
Yes,
so,
STM Fuller. I was not giving him any crap for the way he spends his money. He can spend it any way he wants to. And if he pre-bought the game, that is perfectly fine. I have no qualms with that. You know what? if I had put in the amount of time he put in with Wildlands, I'd have probably bought the game myself as well.
Like
regardless,
hundreds of hours.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
I had to look at my my account for Ubisoft, but like Kevin and I, we played that for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. That's why I'm not surprised.
We got
yeah.
so much of our money's worth out of that.
Where your money goes doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Video games and
well, I mean,
cosplay.
not necessarily, but like within those realms.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I know that if it's a LucasArts remaster, retitle, whatever, you're going to pick it up.
And I understand people's complaints about pre-ordering and everything. Sure, I get it, but you know what? I'm pre-ordering Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
That's
I know
just
you
a
are.
given.
I know you are.
And I am going to play it, and I could probably tell you that I will most likely enjoy it because it's in a world that I enjoy. You know, so yeah, sure,
for me, you know, that's an EA thing. That might be one of those EA Origin Play whatever things. You know,
yeah,
EA Access type stuff where I can subscribe for a month, have it, and then play it, and then whatever. Because I don't, it's kind of like where I'm sitting at with Control right now.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for a nice little discount to pop up around Black Friday or so before I pick it up because single player,
it's worth doing.
I'm not missing anything out.
Yeah.
I'm not missing out on anything. Same with Fallen Order. It doesn't look like there's any kind of multiplayer component or any kind of like, hey, let's group up and play this thing together. So I can wait on it. I don't have to be there at launch with it, and I can. When is that? November?
Yes.
Yeah. So I can.
And God, November's also Doom Eternal.
I love you, Sarah.
Yeah.
I love you, Sarah.
On 2 platforms.
Yeah. Sarah, where did you? I'm throwing this out there, and I know I'll get a delay back, but I'm guessing you picked it up on what platforms did you?
I guess it'd be Xbox and PS4.
I would think that too. I was hoping she'd say PC, but that's fine. Yeah, exactly. There's one already. It's $20 less almost everywhere for Control. I get that. I know
and
that it is.
It's definitely worth it.
I know. I understand. I'm still waiting for Black Friday. It could go lower.
Yeah.
We could see some really deep cuts on that game. It came out in August.
Yeah.
Late August, but still, we could see some very deep cuts.
And
maybe.
But that's a great thing about single-player games is that you could do those whenever. Whereas, like, if something's multiplayer, like Destiny, where you kind of want to be, like, in the zeitgeist of it, you want to be there for it. Yeah. Whereas, like, a single-player game, you just do that at your leisure.
It's exactly what I just did with God of War.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she doesn't have a PC that run it, so she's obviously done that on Xbox and PC or PS4.
PS4, yeah.
So, what else? Anything else you played?
That's really about it. Yeah.
As for me,
the Arma's been a lot of fun.
What have I played? I played God of War. I played a lot of God of War.
That's on my That's one, like, there's a God of War and Horizon are 2 games that I just really want to play, but I just never have.
If you want to borrow my copy now that I'm finished, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, those are 2 titles that I waited on. They were both around $20 before I picked them up. It was something I always had my eye on, but just didn't want to buy at launch because I knew I wasn't going to be playing it immediately. I had so much other stuff on my plate.
You both are absolutely fine at picking it up at whenever. There was no DLC released for it.
Yeah, no.
There was
Horizons was everything that did come out for it was included with the was it Legendary.
And you get that for like $20 now, maybe
it's like
less.
$20 right now.
So. I also did the Vader Immortal Episode 2 came out. And
that's right, for the VR, the VR stuff. Yeah. No, there was no DLC for it. There was no even the pre-order exclusive stuff were cosmetic situations. They were not anything that was like get a special weapon or get a special upgrade or something like that. I think it was cosmetic, and you might have gotten some extra. I don't know if it was XP, but whatever that stuff is, you spend for upgrades and stuff. But none of it really matters by the time you get done with the game because you were loaded to bear.
Yeah.
Or loaded for bear. But I finished it. I beat it Saturday late at night.
How'd you enjoy it?
I enjoyed.
What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The story was so-so. It was better than the others, not great. We talked about this last week where I'm dealing with my kid, right? I'm Kratos and I got a kid, and I'm dealing with my kid who's young and adolescent. He doesn't know what he is yet.
Yeah.
And he is with his father, and his father's constantly just not reassuring him, Kratos is not, he's constantly on him in a very much it's
that Spartan upbringing, man.
Right, in a very much a teaching way, or a like, don't do this, stop doing that. It's never, hey, you did good, that was great, do that. No, it is, you did it wrong, do it better, do this better, stop doing this, don't do this. It's all negative. And about halfway through the game or so, little boy turns on father and says, fine, you're being all blah. It's just, he goes through that
rebellious, angsty.
Yes. Yeah. And what I loved was a part of that when I lost control of the child. Literally, I lost control of my kid. I would press a button to get him to do something, and he would not do it. He had stopped doing that. I was changing the arrows that he was using. I was like, stop using the freeze ones and use the electrical ones. Nope, flipped it right back to freeze and was doing his own thing. Mm-hmm. When I needed him to fire arrows, he was out of arrows because he had already fired them. And he wasn't firing them. So there was this whole section where he sort of got away from me, and I had realized that I had lost control of my child. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a really neat little trick. It happens in pretty much one single fight. There's another fight where... There's another part where...
is it scripted that way, or can it be different for each player?
I think it's scripted that way, for that specific fight that I ran into. Yeah.
I mean, besides, it's not like you could change Kratos' responses to anything.
No. Everything he does is... Yeah, it's supposed to go that way. Yeah. Because later on in the game, it's all brought back into...
This referenced.
Yeah, it's all referenced. The redemption arc comes in where Kratos says, I've been this way, I'm trying to teach you how to survive. This is the way it is, and I was raised Spartan and all this other stuff. So I enjoyed, I don't have children, I ain't going to have children, but I enjoyed that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that was in there, even for the slightest little bit. I loved that little, like, here's what we're doing, and I thought, oh, that's a little crafty. Good job. Yeah. I enjoyed the puzzles. I enjoyed the scene. I will never talk bad about the way this game looks in HDR 4K on an OLED screen. Thing is just beautiful. I would honestly really like to have seen this on an Xbox One X that actually puts out true 4K. Mm-hmm. A true 4K image, because it was magnificent. This put Spider-Man to shame. As far as the overall look of everything was just unbelievably beautiful. I have finished the game. I have finished the game. These two have not finished the game, so there's no
started the game.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going into any kind of spoilers here. What I will say, and I know you finished it, what I will say is that I didn't like the way the game progressed. I have a lot of issues with that. I would point towards maybe an Assassin's Creed or a Spider-Man game, the Spider-Man game recently that was just out, where as I progressed in the game, side options and missions would come up. And I could go do those if I wanted to, or I could still stick to the story and do what I needed to do. In this game, side options would be there. In fact, almost everything would be there. There's a certain point in the game where almost everything becomes available to you, where it's like, you can go here, go wherever you want to. For a while, that stuff's locked off. And even when that stuff is locked off, you can't get there, but there's things around the area that you could fight if you wanted to, but their health bars are purple. You are too low. Mm-hmm. You need to build up your power, you need to upgrade your weapons, you need to keep moving. And I kept thinking, okay, I'll let the story do what it's supposed to do, and then I should be, at some point, able to come back and knock these things out. You don't ever get to that point until you actually finish the game. Mm-hmm. Even exhausting all of my options, I was still running into, even this before I finished the game, but right before I knew where the game was going to send me. I exhausted all of my options to go try and do some of these things, and I was still getting purple bar enemies. And I was like, I can't. No, I'm too weak to do these. And so you finish the game, and you get a lot of stuff unlocked to you when you do finish the game. but you still have free roam to go around and do the other things, like the Valkyries, for instance.
Yeah.
The Valkyries are like these massive, massive bosses that are really in-game content. If this was one of those kind of games, it would be the end-game content. But my problem is that I lose my drive once I finish the story.
You're done.
Mm-hmm.
I really lose my drive when the story's done.
But a game like God of War, that's what you play it for. The story and the experience, really.
Well, I would think so, and I wanted to tackle those side quests before I finished the story, but there was no way for me to do that at my current power level.
Yeah,
the story adjusts to you, whatever power level you're at. It doesn't matter. You're not going to run into purple bar bosses that you're supposed to fight in the story.
Main story thing.
In the main story, it's all these side quests, these Valkyries, and everything else. There was even some rock monster that only when he's on the island, I can see him. He's completely frozen. He does nothing to you. Once you finish the game, he's actually roaming around this island, and you actually can attack him. He was a pretty high... He was not purple. He had whatever... I don't know what the level below that is, maybe, but...
red.
It may have been red. But he wasn't gold, or yellow, which is usually the, hey, you're right here with this dude. But he also wasn't purple at that time. He was a tough. I had to wait for my rage to be completely full and just ready to go before I tackled it. And I chipped at him too. It was just like,
just chip away. Yeah.
Just chip away a little bit. Keep your distance. Move. Very, very patternistic over and over and over again until I could get in there and do some damage. But
yeah,
I was I felt like that could go easier. And I didn't like that fact. I didn't like the fact that some of these things really couldn't be accessed until the end of the game. Mm-hmm. You had to finish the game, and then they expect you to stick around and go play some more.
Yeah,
which I didn't. My drive is gone. I don't have a drive to go do these other things.
It just affects people differently.
You played what it wanted you to tell you.
Well, that's my other thing. Is like, why progress further? To build up my armor and to build up my weapons and to do my thing, even once I've finished side quests and the Valkyries and everything else, where's my motivation to keep going after I've done that? Story's done. Why?
Challenge.
I mean, obviously
challenge.
The challenge. I guess the challenge should be what it is, but I don't know. I don't need that challenge anymore without that story.
Well, gamers aren't all the same, man.
That's
some
true.
People
They're
challenge,
not.
some people want that. Like Dead Space. I didn't play it for multiplayer. I played it for the story. But when hardcore mode came out and what you got for it, I just wanted to push myself
foam
playing
finger
through that
gun?
and get that foam finger gun.
Yeah, there is a new game plus
for
this. And so that's a possibility to go through that again and sort of even build myself up to a monster. Which I would be more than happy to do, but New Game Plus has rarely appealed to me in most games because by the time I either finish it, there's other games to move on to.
Yeah.
And then there's always other games to move on to. But my drive after finishing a game is like, wow, glad that's done. That was great. What's next that I can experience? Since I've just done this, why do I want to start it and do it again? Obviously not immediately. Coming back to it maybe, but not immediately do I want to start it and do it again. I want to look for something else that's going to be that entertaining and that engaging, which is like, let me move on to Horizon. Let me move on to Gears of War, that I hear a lot of things about. Let me move on to those games. Let me move on to Control. That's something more recent that I want to play, or Detroit, or anything like that. I'm just saying, I want another experience. And not the same one that I just had, but I do want another experience. And so when I finish a game like that, my desire moves to the next at that time. Once I did beat it, I did walk around the area because it sort of advances the story and is like, you've been gone for a little bit longer than you think. And start talking about, the whole, whatever, Norse mythology thing. And actually, when you do go, because the whole thing was, we're going to go to this mountaintop, and then we're going to go home. And so once I had made it to the mountaintop, I was like, okay, let's go home. And so I did go home, and there was like another ending that goes with the going home part.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting to see. I was like, oh, there's the ending, because once you hit the mountaintop, credits start rolling.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to your home and get that ending, that's when screen goes black and the credits start rolling, in the typical way that a game is over type of thing. So I enjoyed it. Again, I tell you these things that I've already praised, which was its looks and the combat was it's God of War combat. I don't, I'm not. I think there's combat can be different depending on where you are in your upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Combat can be annoying if you're lower. Combat can be thrilling if you're higher, because you've got things that cool down your powers and things like this that make combat a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more fast-paced, a little bit more the way that you would feel like if you were Kratos, for God's sakes. So I think someone's judgment of combat can be different depending on where they are in their upgrades. Because I've watched people fight these Valkyries, and I'm seeing them pull off moves that take me a while to get off because I don't have the right things slotted. I don't have the right stuff in my gear to make that thing move faster than what it's moving, the charge up and everything else. So it can be different depending on who's playing it. But like I said, I enjoyed it. That is my one qualm, though, was that it didn't allow me to finish my side quest before finishing the story. Mm-hmm. That is my only thing I have against it. I feel like maybe I missed something in doing the story, where maybe I could have advanced me a little bit further. Yeah, so I don't know. I've not read this chat room, so I'm not exactly sure what everybody's been saying. But yeah, that's where I was with God of War. We need to take a break. Who's on the phone?
Chris.
Chris is on the phone. Well, I know Chris is very good at waiting. I'm going to let Chris wait until we come back from this. Well, we had a call last week.
Yeah.
And the name, and I apologize, but the name escapes me. Jim, I don't remember what his name was. But he called because he was on his way to pick up a PS4 Pro.
Okay.
And he was asking us about, like, is it a good time to do it? And I was like, well, you're in that month where Black Friday's coming up, and you're going to see discounts. You might want to
Jesse, I believe.
Jesse, maybe, yeah.
Jesse.
Anyway, I had told him, because he had decided on the air. He's like, well, I'm still going to go get it. And I said, well, let us know. Call us back next week. Let us know how it is. Let us know what games you picked up for it, how it played. And so I was hoping we'd hear from him as well. Chris, hang on the line. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we will take you first thing when we get back. All right, so we're not covering a specific composer as much as we are covering a specific developer. And the reason is because this developer was in the news this week. In fact, we've had this developer on our show before. And that developer is Frogwares, the studio behind most, if not all, of the Sherlock Holmes games. Mm-hmm. They're a studio based out of the Ukraine. Oh, look, Ukraine's been in the news lately.
Really? Has it?
But they've been having problems with their developer house, Focus Home Interactive, where those games have started to get delisted from digital storefronts. They've already been pulled off of most of the console storefronts. Now, on Steam, most of their games are still there because they were able to re-upload them or whatever under a different name, and we're able to still get them on Steam. So you can still get them that way. But console stuff, they're rapidly going away. So I went through Frogwares Studios, their games that they've been developing, and I just picked music from that. So you're going to get a lot of Sherlock Holmes music in this show. You're going to get the Sinking City music in this episode. Most of this music feels like I could have used it for my Halloween shows.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's what we're starting with here. This is Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter. Music from most of these, if not all of them, are the main themes, but that is our first track here. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Like I said, most of this music seems like it would have fit the October music stuff. I may reach back into that for some of those tracks, but this is Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper, and this track is called Streets of Whitechapel. The very first place I went to when I landed in London after getting to the hotel.
Doing the Jack the Ripper tour?
I didn't do the tour.
Okay.
Well, what happened was that I...
What happened was what?
Yes. What had happened was I got in town, I went to the hotel. It was like 3 in the afternoon. I thought I'll take a quick nap and get up at like 6 and, hit the town. I didn't wake up till like 10. I jet lagged myself is what I did. I screwed it up.
No, you gotta stay awake.
You have to, and it was tough, and I screwed it up. So I woke up at 10 and realized that, dang, y'all, London shuts down early. There was nothing
Parts
going
of
on. Well, the
London town itself, the outskirts of London, like Westminster and, like...
I was
North
right
London.
there on Westminster Bridge.
Okay.
I mean, the view out of my room was Big Ben. So, and the bridge. And so, I walked around down there to the Ferris wheel and everything else. It was closed.
I actually did the London Eye. That was fun.
Yeah, it was all closed. So what I did was I got on the train or subway, and I went over to Whitechapel. That was the first thing I did. I was like, let's go see Whitechapel. And I got over to Whitechapel and was like, this is not at all what I expected.
No. I did the Jack the Ripper tour, and then so in this parking garage is where they had found this body.
Exactly.
And in the lobby of this building is where they fit. And you're like, oh.
And you can't go in there.
Yeah.
You can't. You're outside these buildings that these private businesses that have erected there, and it's like, well, at that site was where this thing had happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this was...
You almost expect kind of like when I went to Bath, it's like still very Victorian. And it's like one of the most Victorian cities in England and everything like that. You almost expect that, where you feel like
right,
but no, it's high rises and a parking garage.
I didn't get that feeling until I went to Oxford.
Okay, yeah.
I went over to Oxford, and cobblestone roads were still there. There were these back alleys you could walk around through, and it was all whatever. And I thought, well, this feels more. There was a cemetery I went to. Yeah. It was old.
Yeah, I mean, like Bury was like that with the cobblestones and everything. That's when you feel like, oh yeah, this is like where you see like the thatched houses on.
Exactly.
On the way. Like, okay, this is England.
Here's my stereotypical mental picture of jolly old England. Anyway. Welcome back to the show. Let's go straight to the phones because he's been waiting long enough and talk to Chris. Hey, Chris.
How y'all doing this afternoon?
We are doing all right. I'm trying to fight back a cold. I've been fighting back a cold. Well, I've been fighting something most of the week. I started feeling kind of like blurred, and
that time of the year, huh?
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what's been calling. I think it was that little... See, I get up in the mornings really early to come here to the radio station, and around 5:15 or 5:30 Monday and Tuesday, outside was really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was chill, and then of course that stopped because we can't have nice things here.
And by the time of the afternoon, it's like 100 degrees.
Right, and so I don't know if that little cold snap did something in between or whatever, but I picked up some, or I started feeling something. I said I better cut this off as soon as I can. So
you got a feeling. Sorry, I'm singing in my head.
Anyway, I started getting that feeling of like there's something coming, and so I took some stuff. I've been trying to get some rest, and I just really haven't felt all that great. So anyway, how are you?
Not too bad. I agree with you that the emotions that you probably felt when you were playing God of War, when your son had this rebellion on you and everything. Yeah, that was unique and different. I'm thinking, like you wish you could have done something different, but it was all scripted. But yeah,
it was scripted, but I'm glad they scripted that because that was an interesting idea of you have now lost control of your son.
Yeah.
And like literally mean that. I can't control boy anymore. I press buttons and he doesn't do anything. I do not have control. And so I thought that was interesting that they incorporated that in there.
And then the little boss fight where he realized that
Don't spoil anything, by
Yeah,
the way.
I know what you know what I'm talking about. You know, when it all came around, and you know when really things got really deep into you know what.
Well, yeah, because
Uh-huh.
I know. Is that the two brothers
Yeah.
that you're talking about? Yeah. I know the ones you're
Yeah,
talking
you know
about.
what you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those harp, you know, those the Valkyries.
I've only tried to fight. I found my first Valkyrie. I don't know how long ago, and I knew exactly what it was when I found it. I was like, oh, this is the Valkyrie. These things are really tough. Let's go. Let me just go ahead and activate this one, and let's just really see how tough this is. And it was brutal. 2 hits, and I was dead. So, yeah,
I was speaking worse than a sailor on some of those that I was trying to fight 30 or 40 times in a row. I said, bleep it. I didn't mess with them no more, and I just finished.
Yeah, no. I never did. I never did another one until I came. Well, I came across. I will say this: I did come across what looked like a Valkyrie lair, but it had a tear in it. It had
like
one of those
tears.
Yeah, it had a dimensional tear in it. So I was like, oh, well, maybe this isn't a Valkyrie, and I opened it up, and it wasn't. It was two like those witches that throw. Well, none of you played it. It's those witches that throw the dirt and the poison at you.
Oh yeah.
It was 2 of them. One was a red bar, and the other one was a purple bar, and I almost had them. But I also realized again that no, you're just way under level. This can go a lot easier if you just get your gear. So I held off, and I don't know. I may come back to it. I probably won't. Maybe I'll go through New Game Plus a little bit and be like, okay, now I'm prepared for this. But I would hate to think that you have to play the game twice in order to defeat an enemy in the game. For whatever reason, I just don't like that idea of play our game twice so that you can finally get to some of the content.
Get enough good gear or get enough level.
Yeah, because when I'm finished, I'm still level 5. I've finished the game and I'm still level 5, and that's probably, I don't know. I think there's probably, I don't know. When you finished the game, what level were you? Do you remember?
I forgot what level I was, but I was exploring, going everywhere, and like you do in some games, trying to explore every nook and cranny and try to find everything. I was
trying to. I didn't. Yeah, there were some parts of it that I didn't like. The fact that I would come around to an area and it would be closed off because I didn't have a certain thing, and I thought, well, as the story progresses, I hope it brings me back here. It never really did. Now, it did unlock for me after the game so that I could explore, but it never brought me back with my gear, with my new acquired ability or gear, to finish off that area. Take Hell, for instance.
Yeah.
When you're in Hell, you get the ability to do the wind shift thing or whatever. I can't remember what it is. It's the thing where you pull the wind from one object, and you've got 10. Yeah, you've got 10 seconds to drop it off into another object, and so I earned that ability while I'm in Hell, but I don't have my kid with me. And there is a section where you go back to Hell with your kid, but not in the same area that you were with him or that you went before. It's when you're doing that ship thing. And that's not in the same area that you had gone into before. So, yes, you could take your kid back. You'd have to go through and unlock it through, Midgard and everything else to go back there to make that happen. Some of that stuff is locked off until you finish the game. When you finish the game, then these things become open to you so that you can use them. And yeah, I didn't like that. I would like to have been able to do that before I finished the game. So
yeah, I'm kind of like you. I like to be able to do everything, and once you beat the game, you're satisfied. I've got everything done. I don't have to worry about going back and doing something else.
Yeah, I'm totally that way. I am very much that way, and I wish more games respected that and said, "Oh yeah, okay, we'll put that in there." Spider-Man did fine with it.
I was looking around. Said the max level in God of War was level 9.
I don't know what the max level is.
Yeah,
I was like,
I don't forgot. I haven't played. I don't really care about going back and play it anymore. I'm pretty well done with it.
Are you looking up? Did somebody say that?
No, I was looking up some things. That I get various things, but for the most part, it's like 9. And then some people are saying 10 and 11. Is that even possible? But like equipping stuff gets your
equipping stuff
right?
will up your level. So
but the max I'm seeing from this was 9. So wow, maybe that's one of the max level type deals that opens up. after another playthrough.
Really, the way the gear, the weapons, that sort of thing, the way that stuff works is whatever best suits your play style.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are abilities that you can equip. I think each weapon that you have comes with 2 abilities that you can equip.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 abilities that you can equip, and it's just whatever works for your style. Do you want to do more stun damage, or do you want to do more actual damage? You know, if you do more stun damage, that sets them up for not necessarily a cinematic finisher. It can be if their health is low enough, you can do a finisher, but it sets you up for one of those animations where Kratos just goes nuts on them.
Yeah.
If you can get them into a stun position. So if you work it in that way, where I like to stun so I can throw off a finishing move that really cuts off their health, do it that. Or I like to do the damage side of things, or a knockback. I can't remember. I don't know what there's a middle tier, and I can't remember what it is, but it just depends on your play style and the way that you play. And again, that's why somebody's opinion on combat could vary depending on where they are in their level. So, if you ever think about it, I'd love to know what level you're at on that thing. If you ever fired up again, since I know I know you didn't go back to it after you'd finished it. I'm curious as to what level you got
probably
to.
around the same level you were. Maybe a level higher, because I grinded in a bunch of areas so I could keep gaining levels. So I can't remember. Can't remember how you gained experience, and I don't remember all that much about it no more.
Yeah, I see in the chat room, Thor66 says he got to level 7.
Yeah.
When he, I guess when he finished the game, he was at level 7 on that one. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, Chris, we appreciate you calling as always, buddy.
Oh yeah, I went by and picked up the Dragon Age 11 that came out on the Switch, and while I was there, I just had to buy another copy of Borderlands 3.
Another copy?
They had the big one there that I'd missed out on and wanted to get, and somebody didn't come and pick it up. And so,
wait, when you say the big one, are you talking about the $240?
Yeah, the big one with the diamond chest, the diamond loot one, the humongous
Jesus
one.
Lord.
And I'm thinking,
I saw that, and I was like, wow, that's rather huge.
Yeah, I'm thinking, it's going to go on the shelf. I just got to get it. Oh, well, I wish I hadn't seen it, but, there it was, and I just couldn't resist, so
Good
well.
God. Well,
Now, the statue that comes with it, is that like a drop ship?
I don't forgot what comes with it. I just saw that,
Okay.
it had a chest.
you haven't opened it?
No, I'm not going to open it. I've already got, the other one I had picked up, so I'm going to just leave it sealed. I can
wow.
put pictures and stuff online of, people open it to see what's in there, but for collectability and everything, I'm going to just leave it as it is and not open it.
Well, okay then. Not the way I would go, but that's perfectly fine with you. I don't know. Is there anything that I have to think about that? If there's some stuff that I just haven't opened. Well, Destiny. Let me go back to Destiny. I got the Destiny 1 Ghost Edition for PS4. It was that big box that comes with that big giant ghost.
I used to have that one too, and I decided to get rid of it later on.
Yeah, I have not opened that yet. It is still completely sealed.
That would probably be worth something now, I'm sure.
Well, it was interesting because you could not find them anymore. Like, they went on sale for a brief time on Amazon, and then that was it. They did not... A lot of people thought they would come back in stock, and they never did. I thought they would come back in stock, and so when I saw them not come back in stock, that's when I decided to get a different copy. I decided to say, well, fine, I'm going to go get a different copy then and just keep this one, because the fact that it never came back in stock kind of made me think, well, this might be a big deal. Mm-hmm. So let me hold off on opening it. And
well,
so
I
that's
guess
what I
if you
went.
find copies of it on eBay that are in pristine condition, then you can just take the value of what they've sold at or what they're wanting them for.
Are you looking that up right now?
I was looking up something else.
Oh, no. I'm looking. No. That's fine. You go ahead. I'm going to look that up though. You do what you're doing there, RJ. I'll look this up. I'm just curious, and we don't have much time left in this segment anyway.
Yeah, you could probably jump the value up a good bit from whatever you've seen people posting it for.
Edition. Let me see. Probably not much.
Never know. Those big collectors ones go for a good bit, especially if they're unopened or if they got everything in pristine condition. Especially one like Destiny.
So there's one now that's like used, great condition, $235. There's another one that's used, great condition, but there's no game involved, and it's $125. Let's see. Wow, new and sealed, $350.
Yeah.
New
I was kinda
sealed,
thinking around there.
new and sealed. They want $999. Here's one that wants $2,000. What in the?
Once, yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, one of the old strategy game guides that I was looking for for a role-playing game on Sega CD, I bought one on Amazon. They lost it, couldn't figure out what happened to it. They refunded me, and then I looked up again later on to see if I could find somebody else that had it, and there was two people that had it, were selling it. You know how much they wanted for a strategy guide? $860.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So okay, so now I'm going through and I'm looking up what's been completed and what's been sold.
Oh yeah, that's a good feature. I love.
Now this is used 120, used 162, used $100, used 125. Let's see. I'm guessing that is used with 102. Goodness, here's. Oh no, they. Yeah, here. No, that's Destiny 2. I don't want Destiny 2. Just D1. That's all I want. I don't see any D. There we go. Ghost Edition Collector's Complete. That's used as well, but $75. So not going for a whole lot. Or at least people aren't buying it for a whole lot.
Somebody got a deal on it if they really wanted it, but yeah.
That's true. Now let's go. Let me look up this Uncharted 2. I can't remember what the name of that was.
The collectors?
No, it wasn't collectors. It was ones that comes with a knife.
Knife edition?
That's what I'm typing. What was it called? I'm trying to find one on eBay to see if I can remember what the name of the thing was. And I can't. I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to look that up. Uncharted 2 knife.
I guess we can agree on one thing: the values of the
Fortune Hunter edition
of the Fallout 76 firearm editions will probably be going down in value.
Yeah.
Oh, quickly.
Even though I spent a bunch of money and everything.
You might not even be able to sell that thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things like, oh, well, I've got it at least, but that's about all I can say about it.
Yeah.
Good Lord. This one was July 25th, I guess, of this year. It sold for $7,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, somebody really wanted that one, didn't they?
$7,000. Was it autographed? Let me look and see.
You know, we say these things about the prices of these games, but you got to realize, someone out there, given time, will want it bad enough, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm selling to help my mother with her bills due to my mother having a stroke. So many Fortune Hunter editions on eBay are a joke. Thousands of dollars requested for an incomplete item. I have the book, Dagger Game soundtrack, DLC, sheet, and strategy guide. The game is sealed and has the UPC scratched out. That's how the game came. Okay, so that sold for $7,000. Let me scroll down because I want to say I saw another one. Whoa!
How much?
How much? Yeah.
August 4th, it sold for $13,000.
Wow.
$13,000.
I think you got something on your hands there, buddy.
It was a contest prize. Okay, this one is 1 of 200. It is actually the number 1 of 200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, first
one.
one.
Of those, I've got to have that, and they're willing to pay that crazy kind of...
Oh, my God. Except, see, mine... Let me see.
But you opened yours.
Well, of course I opened mine. It's autographed. Mine was open. It is autographed by the entire team.
And that puts some more value on it as well.
I'm taking off the... Okay, I took off the thing of, let's see what's been sold. So now I'm looking at ones that are up here for $3,500, $6,000. And I'm already behind. That's about it. There's only 2 listings. So that's interesting. That is very, very... Wow. All right. Cool. Well, Chris, thanks for calling, and this was a fun little trip down.
Yeah,
no
kidding, wasn't it?
Antiques Roadshow, basically.
Yep.
Take care, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Chris.
Bye.
Sorry, I get curious about some of the things that I have. I have autographed copies of Uncharted 2. I have autographed copies of Uncharted, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4, Last of Us, and of course, now that we have a date on Last of Us 2, be reaching out to Naughty Dog again and being like, "Can I get a copy of this autograph?"
Hey.
I just wanted to go in my collection, man. I have a nice little Naughty Dog collection of their games.
Yeah.
And it's just been a tradition now, and I'm curious if I can keep that tradition going. I don't know if they'll honor it or not, but it would be nice.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
I know. It would be nice to have it. I didn't do it with Lost Legacy or anything like that, but I did do it with their Uncharted's and their Last of Us, so I'm just curious. Anyway, we got to take a break. We went a little bit long on that one, so when we come back, we'll have more of In-Game Chat. We will get to some of these news stories. I will say, by the way, new PS4 controller was the trick. That did it.
Did what?
Well, I had to get a new I was having a problem with my PS4 controller last week.
Oh.
And so I went and bought a new one just right over the street, and when I plugged it in, took it home, played it.
Done.
Oh
No
my
problem.
God! It felt night and day difference. In fact, it was so different that like there's points in God of War when you get in the boat and you travel around the Lake of Nine, where when Kratos paddles, you get a little vibration. I wasn't getting any vibration. I got vibrations when I was playing, but
Not the little.
this was
subtle
just
ones?
a little subtle vibration that was coming through. And so, yeah, it was the controller. It
Yeah.
was totally the controller. So, no, Thar, it wasn't drifting. It was just not responding. You know,
Was it original?
Yeah, it was the one that came with the PS4 Pro.
Okay. Yeah.
But it wasn't that it wasn't responding or that it was drifting. It was not responding. So I would push forward, and Kratos would do this thing, and then he would stop, like he was hung up on something on the ground, like he wouldn't that you had to step over. Or I would put him in run mode, and he would run for just a short time and then stop dead, as though I'd stopped moving. And so it was really weird. But this new controller, oh, it's perfect. It's fine. Anyway, we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat in just a moment. Another game from the Frogwares collection is not a Sherlock game. It is called Mag Runner, Dark Pulse. And it has also been removed from consoles as well. You can still get it on Steam, but it's been removed on consoles. Hopefully there's something they can work out. We'll talk about it coming up in a bit. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Again, I say, this music would have been just as good to play during the Halloween stuff. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Although it should be, because this is from Sherlock Holmes The Awakened, which combined Lovecraftian elements into the game, which is interesting because years and years, and I mean many years later, they would finally do The Sinking City, which is nothing but Lovecraftian. So, it's real good.
Yes.
But anyway, welcome back to the show. Let's jump into the news. Why don't we? Because we haven't in a very long time. I'm going to start from news that's really, really old. But I say really old. It's comes back from the 7th of this month. Electronic Arts received a Guinness World Record for the most downvoted comment in Reddit history, which was the one by...
Is that the Battlefront?
It was the Star Wars, but yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
In fact, I
didn't know anyone was tallying most downvotes on Reddit for anything.
It was
so
huge.
that's a Guinness World Record. Yeah, there's a record for everything now, apparently.
Yeah.
The guy who posted
like a Funko
that,
Pop for everything.
Yeah, the guy who posted that, I know, I don't necessarily know him personally. I have met him way back when I don't even think he wasn't doing PR for EA at the time when I met him. I can't remember who he was doing PR for when I met him, but I followed him on Twitter, and he and I would talk from time to time, and then we just kind of lost touch with each other because he did move over to EA, and so we did lose a lot of... It's not like we were best of friends or anything like that, but...
I guess opportunities to stay in touch.
Yeah, well, I mean... He moved to a much bigger... He was doing some indie thing at the time, and over a couple of different games. And so that's when I talked to him. But then when he moved to EA, it was like, the doors for him opened up to a much larger audience of, I got to talk to all these people now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was it. So I know the guy who posted that and actually got that honor of being... the most downvoted on Reddit. Going back a little bit further, this is, or not a little bit further, a little bit closer. This is 18 days ago. It was announced that GameStop will be closing about 200 stores.
Yeah, and laying off how many people?
Let's see. I don't have a thing about how many people would be laid off.
I thought I saw it somewhere like a sizable amount.
This year's closures won't be the last of them. We're applying a more definitive analytic approach, including profit level, blah, 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 over the coming 12 to 24 months. They posted a loss of $415 million.
GameStop kind of reminds me in a way of Toys R Us in the fact that they don't seem to have updated their...
Failure to adapt.
Failure to adapt. Yeah.
To the shopping climate. They didn't adapt.
I mean, I've been in GameStop recently, but I haven't bought anything in a GameStop, and I don't even know how long.
Last thing I bought in a GameStop was Red Dead Redemption because they had the Steelbook edition.
Yeah.
That was the only place you could get it. And I'm telling you right now, if it was sold anywhere else, I probably would have picked it up from anywhere else. Yeah. And it's not because I have beef with GameStop.
No.
I do not have beef with GameStop. I know some people that work at GameStop here locally. It's just that, for one, I made up my mind very late that I was going to do this. And so I had to run to the store and make sure I could still get in on that Steelbook edition that I wanted. But if it was available anywhere else, I had already pre-ordered it and would have had it, I would have had it ready for pickup at Best Buy or some other place that I could have just driven over there and grabbed it. I have, and again, not because of that, but I still have my Gamers Club Unlocked stuff for Best Buy, which knocks off, 15% of a price on a new game. Or something like that. I can't remember what the price knockoff is, but and it also earns me points towards discounts as well with using with Best Buy. Yeah. So that's why I go that route most of the time.
Code Vein was the last thing I bought from GameStop that was recent. I still shop there for some.
Now, why did you buy it from there?
Habit.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Although, hit me up and you can buy it from Best Buy and I'll get points for it. Well, first off...
Well, we have to wait for the one here locally to open because...
Not necessarily. You can go over to the Montgomery store.
Okay.
Yeah.
They still have stuff?
They do, yeah. Not only will you earn me points, but you can use my Gamers Club unlock to give you discount. And you can get it cheaper if you get it from Best Buy. Think about that. Well,
Okay.
There's a little trade-off. I get the points, you get the discount.
A little squid pro row.
What?
You know what he means.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just a thought to both of you.
Yeah. I do a lot of my stuff online, digital.
Well, you've also got you got that other avenue
Yeah.
where it comes in cheap.
If they have it.
Or, right. Is that where you got your VR?
Well, I got the VR through Lee
I don't know.
at Quality Comics.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The PSVR? Is that where you got that from?
No, the Oculus.
Oh, what about the PSVR? Did you pick one up or no?
No.
Oh, okay. You just used mine for
I
a
just
while.
used yours.
Okay. I thought you actually bought that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. The other thing that we had in here that goes back to the second week of September or third week of September here was that Nintendo filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against a ROM website. Man, Nintendo...
They used to be cool about that.
I don't know if they used to be cool about. I don't think they
Or
ever
just
used to be
didn't
cool
care.
about it.
No.
No,
They
they've
were never-
been very locked down about their properties, man. They've been very locked down about their properties. They are so locked down, and we've told this story before, that they bought an adult film based on Super Mario Brothers just so that they could own the rights to it, so that they would never get distributed. They actually did that. They bought the rights to it so that nobody else could get it distributed, and nobody else could make anything, on top of that.
So what I'm hearing is I need to do something like that so they could buy me out.
Well, no, they'll sue you first.
Oh. Never mind.
Yeah, no. It's not. That's a good idea, but they'll sue you first, and it'll be so much they sue you for that they'll just end up buying the rights, or that'll be part of the lawsuit was that they hand over the rights to this. So, a site called ROM Universe. The company is seeking damages in the amount of $150,000 for each copyright infringement.
Woo!
And up to $2 million for each trademark infringement. Nintendo says that the pirated games display counterfeit copies of Nintendo trademarks when the games are played, as well as infringing the copyright of the works themselves. ROM Universe reportedly offers memberships to its site priced at $30 per year. That lets them download an unlimited number of pirated games, referred to as ROMs, with higher speeds than non-members. The ROM site appears to list both new and old Nintendo games, as well as movies and books, so this is a bad idea. Nintendo appears to be cracking down on piracy worldwide. That week, Nintendo won a United Kingdom High Court case that will require 5 internet service providers to block or impede access to 4 different websites that offered pirated Nintendo Switch games or information pertaining to the action. In November of last year, Nintendo reached a $12 million settlement with 2 ROM sites it had previously sued over similar allegations. Nintendo is known to send out cease and desist letters liberally. It issued a takedown notice for 562 fan games in 2016. Yeah, Nintendo, they don't. Yeah, they're the no fun police.
I think this past Wednesday was it? That was their 130th anniversary.
Nintendo?
Yes.
Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it at all.
I think I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday. Yeah, their 130th anniversary.
Yeah. I think you're right on that. Actually, I did a random fact during the week about Nintendo. I think
because I remember Thursday was Monsters, the REM album 25th anniversary.
It was either this week or last week.
September 23rd was their 130th anniversary. Okay.
Is this? Yeah, this past week.
Yeah, it was either this week or last week that I did a random fact about Nintendo and the way it was designed.
Yeah, the card game.
No.
Oh.
The NES. The way it was
NES?
designed.
Okay.
The reason the NES was designed was the way that it was is because Nintendo designed it like a VCR in order to distance itself from the video game crash that had happened previously. Where games loaded top end
Yeah, like the Famicom does.
like all of that stuff was doing. But when they designed the NES for the States,
like a VCR.
they did it like a VCR to distance themselves from what had become earlier with Atari and everything else that had crashed the industry at that time. And that's why they had the design the way they did.
The Sega Master System, that was a side load, right? When it top
Sega
down.
Master System?
Yeah.
It was both. You had a card in the front, and you had the slot at the top where you put games in. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there were two different types of cartridges for that system.
That's very Sega.
Yeah.
Still talking about pre-ordering stuff. I did pre-order. So we got news about Last of Us.
Yes.
And in fact, where's it at?
We got
here?
a trailer.
I'm just we got a trailer.
Got a release date, right?
And we got a release date.
Yeah.
We also got
February. Confirmation of a character.
we got 5 different editions of the game.
Oh my god. Okay, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, the collectible stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the games for PS Plus in October will be Last of Us Remastered,
Last of Us Remastered.
Yeah.
and the show, MLB The Show. Which is interesting because after watching that trailer, I was like, and seeing that Last of Us Remastered was there,
Yeah.
I was like, do I have that? And I went and I checked, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I've already
You
bought
got
it.
I think I got it free with the. I said I got the thing free, but I couldn't recall how. I think it came with the system.
It
Or
may
somebody
have.
picked it up.
It may have. So I'll
But,
be interested to get MLB The Show, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 5 options when getting The Last of Us Part 2. There's going to be the Standard Edition and the Digital Deluxe Edition. The Special Edition is basically just the game and the Steelbook plus a art book.
Yeah.
So I like that, the Steelbook and everything. You know, obviously I'm going to go Steelbook.
If it's a good looking steelbook, right?
Yeah.
Or are you just going to get rid of
Yeah,
it?
I mean, I'm getting the game, so I might as well get the Steelbook, right?
Sure.
But the collector's edition is the one I opted in on. It comes with, let's see what it has here. It comes with a statue of Ellie playing her guitar, a life-size replica of her bracelet. I guess that plays into the game somehow. A custom steelbook case, the art book, a set of 6 enamel pins, whoopee, lithograph art print, 5 stickers, yeehaw, and a voucher for digital content. The Ellie edition,
Okay, that was one.
which is, I don't know, like $250, includes everything I just mentioned for the collector's edition.
Yeah.
But also an embroidered patch, a vinyl record featuring music from the soundtrack.
Ooh, do you know if it's going to be the same composer?
Probably is. I believe it is.
Or
I
Gustav?
recall something about Ellie's tattoo or something showing up in one of those.
Maybe it's part of the
somebody-
stickers.
I
don't
guess,
know.
yeah, something like that.
But the Ellie edition also includes a full-sized, fully functional recreation of Ellie's backpack. So it comes with a backpack. $250 for that, if you want to go down that road.
As long as you don't pull up Bethesda.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I know. Oh, by the way, Bethesda's in trouble again.
Oh, wow.
They are, let me see where it's at. Yeah. Here's the news on the Bethesda thing.
This is what Chris was talking about earlier.
Maybe, I don't know. Manufacturer Chronicle has issued a recall of an estimated 20,000 T51B Power Armor collectible
Yeah,
helmets.
That's what Chris was talking about.
Sold by GameStop over a risk of mold exposure.
Mold exposure, exactly. Yeah. When it rains, it pours, man. I'm telling you, if anything that could go wrong, did go wrong for that release, man. The bags were garbage. They tried to redo something about that, and now the helmet. All this time later, mold exposure, possible mold exposure.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you're right. When it rains, it pours for them. Exactly. Mold exposure. How fun.
Is this officially the worst release of all time, video game wise?
Fallout 76?
Yeah.
You know, what's weird is that they just keep pushing with a smile on their face, man. They're like Vault Boy. The world is crumbling around them, but they've got a smile and a thumbs up.
Yeah.
They're that dog that's like everything's fine, the house is burning.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, you're in denial. I think it's time to back off.
Well, I don't necessarily know that they're in denial, but
What else are they going to do?
Looks like
Well, see, when the game launched, I thought I don't think it was an immediate failure, but for the most part, everything that I heard when that game was announced and when it launched was, I don't want this.
Not for me.
Like, nobody, it's one of those memes.
And I've been...
Everyone, complete blank. Then Bethesda's like, here's open world Fallout multiplayer.
And
MMO.
I've been Fallout fanboying since '98 when the first one came out.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten all of even like the Brotherhood of Steel on the Xbox.
I know you got your little Pip Boy on your arm.
I got my Pip Boy. I mean, like but there's something about this one. I was just like, no,
nobody wanted this, and
I think
everybody got it. Well,
one of the format that people had an issue with, like
just a lot of it.
The solitude. Really, I mean, now playing Fallout with others.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
I don't want to be in a world with other people where they could, my thing was
cooperative Fallout. I was like,
it'd be one thing if it's just cooperative, but I don't want to play a Fallout game where others on the internet and random people could actually have a dire effect upon my game.
That's true.
And not just griefing, but like, they could get the nuke and nuke your base, and
yeah.
What do you do then? All that work that you put, you
just take it, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to previous news, the guy who did the swatting in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He got sentenced for that one.
Yeah.
And it was because it was fatal.
Yeah. Well, what? Actions have consequences?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Casey Viner, I guess maybe Veneer. I don't know. He admitted to asking an acquaintance to swat a rival after losing a $1.50 bet in Call of Duty. He was sentenced for 15 months in prison on Friday, and he was banned from online games for 2 years.
That's it?
He pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy and one count of obstruction of justice. He's 19. He will serve 15 months in Ohio Penitentiary. He will pay $2,500 in restitution. He also barred him from any kind of... who was responsible for the swatting. The guy who was responsible for the swatting received a 20-year sentence in March for that. Right. The initial argument was over a wager of $1.50.
That's beyond ridiculous.
Freedom cost $1.05. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. And then the guy who DDoSed World of Warcraft Classic was arrested.
Really?
This was not very long ago when World of Warcraft Classic got DDoSed. Follow-up say that a suspect has been arrested. I'm trying to see if they say where. Blizzard did not confirm whether this individual was the same person who went by blah, blah, blah on Twitter, who originally took credit for the attacks. Worked around the clock with local and international law enforcement to track it down. It's our understanding that within a few days, authorities were able to successfully identify and arrest a suspect. We don't have any news as far as who it was and where it was. In both the U.S. and Europe, DDoS attacks are considered federal crimes.
Yeah.
The UK is especially harsh for this, with a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison for that. But yeah, arrested for that. What do we have? E3 2020 could have a paid media partnerships and more celebrity type stuff. I don't like that idea, but then again, I don't go to E3 anymore, so I don't really care.
Yeah, what's the celebrity part?
Yeah. Then there was the thing where we found out how much Epic Games paid for Control.
Yes.
$10.45 million for the exclusivity. That's just for Control. How much did they pay for Borderlands?
Yeah.
How much did they pay for, I don't know, any number of other exclusives they got on there? Shenmue, maybe. I don't know what else, but how much have they paid? I mean, that's... And also, how much of that is a drop in the bucket of Fortnite money, you know?
True. Was Untitled Goose Game, is that just on Epic Store?
I have no idea. I do not know.
Okay.
I really don't know if it is or not, but yeah.
I'm looking at that one.
While some developers in the Epic Game Store have been more open than others about the terms of what exclusivity arrangements they've made, most have been fairly quiet. The document notes that Control brought in $9.49 million in revenue before June 30th. This is in a different denomination, by the way, $10.45 million. And later on notes and platform-by-platform breakdown, Epic Games was likewise responsible for that in revenue during the same period. The development budget for Control fell between $20 million and $30 million. So that's a massive chunk to get back right at the beginning. And that's just for the PC platforms. Mm-hmm. No telling what they made off the console platforms, if anything at all. But yeah. And I know they did make some money off of it, but I'm not exactly sure how much. But to spend 20 to 30 million on making the game and getting, at the outset, almost 11 million back, depending on where you're at, it's almost half of what you spent. So, yeah, I mean, I don't blame them from going that route. So it guarantees them some instant money back regardless, and hopefully enough that they made budget when they, pull in all the other console releases plus whatever else that they get from it. So that wraps up. Good. Look at that. We're back on track. We finally covered all this old news. And you know what I haven't done? We had 2 emails come in that I never read from Daniel Phelps. He wrote in back in September 13th. On Friday the 13th, he wrote in. And he said, he was talking about the way it's Daniel Phelps, which I pronounce it as consigliere, but it's not. He said it's supposed to be pronounced consigliere, and so. But he said I pronounced it most of the way the way most Americans would say it. So, he said I was watching Godfather at like age 9, but keep doing what you're doing. We're good. I have less than no interest in current news. Yay, backlog. That being said, a lot of people on my Steam friends list have been going back to Borderlands 2 despite the various controversies surrounding the franchise and Pitchford. That guy needs to close his mouth now and make games. Are any of you looking forward to 3? With Destiny being what it is, I understand that it will have some competition from certain crowds. Honestly, I think the main thing Borderlands has going for it is the world design and character development it has. In terms of gameplay, I am led to believe Destiny is way better. But I admit I am partial to Borderlands. I don't have many opportunities to say this, but as cool as Tina Tina will be, I have not laughed harder than I laughed during the Mr. Torg stuff in a long time. I hope he features prominently, especially since they changed actors for my next fave, Claptrap. So, I have not played it, obviously. Daniel, Matt has. I have not. So... And then he sent me an email that says, not for broadcast, so I won't read that one. He says, never mind, this was on September 15th. Never mind Borderlands on Epic. We could go up and down about the merits of that idea. But Phoenix Point, XCOM's spiritual successor only on the Epic Store. If you knew what it was before this email, it means something big to you. I want it. I do not want another account to keep track of. Thankfully, the exclusivity is timed on this particular game. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know.
I'd have to look up Phoenix Point. I'm not well versed in the whole XCOM world.
I know a little bit about it.
Yeah. On one hand, I feel for anyone taking the underdog stance, especially since I had an extremely tragic experience with Steam customer support. You need Dennis for this email because he did APOC, which is the only thing that comes close for comparison's sake. But anyone who played APOC knows it was kind of a broken mess. And yeah, we would need him here. But yeah. So just wanted to hit those emails because we hadn't. And he had written them in. And I always like to get to the emails when people do write us, I like to read them. So we're going to take our next break. And then when we come back, we'll try to hit some of the more news that's like this week instead of 2 weeks ago. We got more music here from the Sherlock Holmes games from Frogwares because apparently Focus Home Interactive is holding on to the IP. They are not giving them back to them. And they are removing them from stores. Yep. It's kind of a mean thing. I don't know what the contract is, but I would think that developers who make a game would be able to keep the IP. and let them publish it themselves, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, if you're a if you're Naughty Dog and you want to break away from Sony, I'm sure Sony's not giving you the IP rights to those games. You know, so
yeah, go ahead, have Crash back.
Oh, I was thinking more of the Last of Us and Uncharted series.
Yeah.
They might give them Crash. They might say, "Sure, you can have Crash. We're keeping these others that have pulled in so much money for us." But yeah, this comes from a game called Testament of Sherlock Holmes. We'll be back with more in-game chat after this. It's very quiet sounding. There it comes. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. I swear these are just
Halloween music.
It's fantastic for Halloween music. This would be wonderful. If you are looking for one of the Sherlock Holmes games to play, I would suggest you play this one.
Devil's Daughter?
No, this is Crimes and Punishments.
Oh, Crimes and Punishment.
Very, very good Sherlock Holmes game. I haven't really played all of them, but in doing, in looking up the titles and looking up everything about these for the music and everything else, the consensus was that this was the best one that they did. Came out a few years back.
There's a video I saw where it was like it had Watson. No matter where you turn, he would like magically teleport.
That's from the older. That's from one of the older Sherlock Holmes games. Yeah, but this one was really good. I enjoyed this one a lot. I did not play it all the way through. The cases are different, but there is like an overarching
thread.
There's a thread that stretches through each of them that kind of connects them together. But
kinda
they
like,
are different.
L.A. Noire in a way.
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit. And in fact, I don't know. I didn't get to the end of the game, so I'm not exactly sure how it all comes together. But yeah, so very, very good. Good game. It's already been pulled though from your console, so unless you got it for free during one of the Xbox Live Gold or PS Plus things, which I don't even know if it was ever available on any of those.
I think it was on the PS Plus. So if you have it tied to your account, can you still download it?
Yeah, if you have it tied to your account, you can still download it, but it's been pulled from those stores.
It's not available to buy anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
With the exception of PC. You can still download it and buy it off of PC.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Anyway, let's get back into some of the more, I guess, the recent news. On Sunday, we got some teasers from WB Montreal about some Batman game, possibly, maybe a new Batman game. And it's from WB Montreal, which happens to have done my favorite of the Batman games, Batman Origins. Arkham Origins, anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks like they're doing the Court of Owls story. And I thought that was interesting. It's something I really put in the back of my mind. So Arkham Origins comes out, and everybody does these, here's 15 Easter eggs you probably missed in Batman Arkham Origins. Whatever. One of the things that people focused on at that time, and I can't remember when Arkham Origins was released, but one of the things that people focused on was there was a book in a library, I think, where it does the whole Court of Owls poem thing in the library. But there's a rooftop fight with Bane. And the statues on the roof are gigantic, but they're part of the Talons, which is the assassination wing of the Court of Owls. And everybody was pointing to those, being like, "Oh, look, Court of Owls! They've planted some seeds." The Arkham stuff has always been known to plant seeds. Like, there was, I think, in Batman Arkham Asylum, there was like that map where you could see the plans for what Arkham City was going to become and how that was going to play out, and so they referenced that.
Yeah,
and then
October 2013 is when Arkham Origins
right
came out. Yeah,
and like you didn't hear anything from WB Montreal after that. Nothing. It was just nothing, and that's been years and years and years ago now. So to see it come back and be like, "Oh, hey," it was nice to see. So. I'm hoping that we'll get something. I thought we would get it at the State of Play or that Sony did with the Last of Us stuff, but that was obviously too good to hope for.
Yeah.
Can't hope for Last of Us 2 and another Batman game in the same presentation, so we'll see.
Why not Splinter Cell while we're at it?
I know, exactly. Hey, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
It's Brock.
Hey!
Honk.
Honk, honk. Hey, man, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Wonderful. We're just going over some of the news that we didn't hit. We were talking about Batman Arkham. Borderlands 3 is the fastest-selling game in 2K history.
All right.
Which, good for them. That means they'll be making more, which means Pitchford will have... Oh, God. Pitchford will have more opportunities to say stupid stuff and do stupid things.
Yay! Entertainment.
Keep everybody entertained, I guess, in that way.
Yeah.
Not the right way, but...
Red Dead 2 got a PC Australian classification?
Nothing confirmed yet, though, right?
Well, no, nothing confirmed. But, I mean, they put out a launcher for PC. Rockstar puts a launcher for PC games, giving you Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for free if you want. And now this comes up, and I'm like, what are you guys working on? Is this what you're doing? Are you going to put it on your store only?
Probably.
Makes sense.
Are you going to pull the other games from other stores and only put it on yours?
Like probably Bethesda did.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm still curious how Grand Theft Auto 5 is almost always topping the charts.
It's still going, dude.
Who's left to buy it? That's the.
I don't have it.
Now, is it buy it or like buy the expansions that they do, like the
for the online stuff?
For the online stuff, yeah.
I don't know. I always just see it listed as GTA 5 is
people are still playing it, man. And again, I still don't own it on PC.
Yeah.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But playing's one thing. I guess buying is the other thing. I'm shocked about. So
yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about the Fallout 76 power armor being recalled. We talked about Last of Us remastered and everything being part of that. Let's see. What?
I want to ask Brock something.
Oh, go ahead. Ask Brock something.
I want your opinion. Tell us what you thought of the Goose Game.
Oh, the Untitled Goose Game is amazing.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is it $15 amazing, though?
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
Okay.
I mean, I paid, it's Canadian, so it's almost...
Two mooses and a Putin?
$40
and poutine. And a Putin?
$40 and a beer. So, yeah. But, no, our whole family has been playing it. We've each been sort of taking our turns playing on the Switch, and then we'll get stuck and we'll ask each other what to do next. And even just to do silly little things, even if you're not necessarily completing your goals, it's just a hoot. So, or a honk, I guess. So,
I do like the memes that have been coming out of it.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Do you, Brock? Do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
Did you get the Apple Arcade?
You betcha.
I thought you would have. There was. Is it as good as I hear?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, especially what was shocking to me is seeing some of the games that are on the arcade also on Steam or other stores on the PC for upwards of $20-$30, and meanwhile it's like $5 a month or whatever it is for arcade, and you get them on your phone or your iPad. So yeah, I mean, I haven't played. I downloaded almost all of the games just to take them for a spin, and I've played a few of them I've really enjoyed, and I still have a lot to try out.
I guess I need to look at the list and see what's available. I've never been a big mobile gamer type person, but they're
lots of puzzle games.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of games that come up in the mobile space that I enjoy. They cater to me in the puzzle way.
Yeah.
And
Room,
so,
for instance.
yeah, The Room, Monument Valley is fantastic.
Yeah, I know there's a new one by the people who did that, and I just can't recall.
It is, I know. That's something that's sort of drawing me towards it, is that, hey, there's a game there, and $5 a month I can play it or whatever. So, yeah, I've been kind of interested in that, and I figured that you would have been down on that. So,
yes, there's a new game by the Capybara team, which is a nice sort of match. However many kind of game. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's called, what's it called? I was just playing it earlier today.
well,
I'll look it up while you guys are talking. Grindstone. Grindstone I'm really enjoying.
yeah. Now, on the opposite end of that, and Lethal Migraine brought it up in the chat room, is Google's Play Pass, which is for Android, and it's $5 a month and has 350 games and apps.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's pretty good too. I mean, I am definitely leaning more towards things where I have tons of physical copies of various games from all sorts of eras. I have rather large digital libraries on Steam and the PlayStation Store and stuff like that. And I don't need a lot of these things. I want to try them. I'm not necessarily going to spend hours and hours playing them, but it's nice to try them if I don't have to invest a lot of money to take it for a spin. I have no problem with these, $5 a month here.
I know.
Like,
I kind of
Game Pass alone. Like I was able to try out Blair Witch, Gears, several games that if I had to actually spend the money on them, it would be in the hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And it's costing me $5 a month to try these out on my PC. So,
I'm enjoying this Netflix model, and I wish more people would do it.
Yeah.
It'll nickel and dime me to death, but I want more people to do it.
Well, again, considering what we used to pay per game, it's a huge savings as far as I'm concerned. If you like to get a lot of things, and you don't necessarily need to have the new hotness the second it comes out, but even things like Gears. I mean, that was what surprised me, was that Gears 5 was part of the Xbox Game Pass on the PC.
Yep.
I wasn't even expecting it, and boom, they're free. Got the DLC and everything, and like the extra promo stuff with the Terminator skins and things like that.
Exactly.
And the good thing about these kind of services is, like back in the days when you had to buy the game by itself, if you hey, I'm going to go on a hunch, I'm going to go on a whim, buy this. If you don't like it, then you're just out. With this, you'll actually have like other games.
Well,
if you don't like it, you'll be like, well, I'll just download
back in
this
the
one.
day, though, we had a Blockbuster to go to, and we could rent those.
There's
games
that too.
For some
try 'em
games,
out.
but not like PC games.
Well, no, but now everything is so. I mean, is there a PC? Is there any game? I'm sure there are games. Obviously, Team Fortress. Well, no, that's not just PC only. We got any PC exclusive games anymore?
Oh, I'm sure there are. I mean,
I'm sure there
certainly.
are some indie type stuff that are PC exclusive, but
Arma's PC exclusive.
well, that's exclusive in a lot of other ways.
But yeah.
That's an interesting thing, is that you did used to have some PC exclusive stuff, but then like Orange Box came out, and that put Half-Life 2 and Portal and everything else, boom, right on the console for you.
Like there's even some of the bigger games. Like they just ported Pillars of Eternity over to the Switch not too long.
Right? Switch is getting
Really?
some PC games. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first Pillars of Eternity game, like the definitive.
That's a really good one.
All of the stuff, as far as I've heard good things about.
If you like that kind of game, then it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know. But it's also now available portably on your Switch.
See, this is making me even more want to Switch.
Well, I would say go for the Switch
Dragon
Lite.
Quest 11 just came out on it too, and I've been playing that.
Yeah, I know. I heard that Dragon Quest was like, if you're going to play any of the Dragon Quest games, Switch is way to go.
See, I want the Switch like actually dock.
Well, then go that route.
And get that one.
Yeah. Then get that one. There's no problem in doing that either.
It's not like they're discontinuing that model.
Yeah,
So.
just because like sometimes I want to play it on the bigger screen.
Yep.
Oh, the Xbox games with gold that we're getting for October, by the way, just a real quick heads up. Well, I had it, and now it's gone.
All right.
What happened? Why is it not displaying anything? It just totally vanished on my screen. Xbox One games, you're getting Timbo the Badass Elephant.
I remember that game.
And Friday the 13th, the game.
Okay.
And for Xbox 360, which is backward compatible, Disney's Bolt and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. You'll get those for the and then we talked about the Sherlock Holmes developers being accused of, accusing the publisher of delisting
the publisher
the items.
is delisting them, eh?
Yeah.
So.
And then Bungie said, here's what you're getting free with Destiny 2. And it's apparently a lot of stuff.
The base model Destiny 2 or the
base model free-to-play edition of Destiny 2.
Okay.
You'll get all the Year 1 content, which is the base Destiny 2 game and the 2 expansions, Curse of Osiris and Curse of Osiris and Warmind. You'll get those, and you can do whatever you want with those. You'll be able to participate in PvP, PvE, Year 1 raids, Iron Banner, Gambit Prime, Menagerie, the Black Armory, Year 1 Nightfall Strikes, private matches. And Year 2 content will be pretty much all of Forsaken. You'll get everything except for, like, the raids from Year 2. So, a ton of stuff. Absolutely free with this with the new light content. So, and I'm sure Lethal Migraine's totally ripping me a new one in the chat room.
He's actually talking about Timbo.
Why did you bring up Destiny 2 again? It sucks. Stop talking about Destiny 2.
Destiny is Scott's Fortnite.
True.
Well put.
Very true. Anyway, that was covering all the news that I was trying to get to, so which we have done, and now we're finished. So what have you been playing other than Untitled Goose Game?
Untitled Goose Game, I finished Control, I think, after I spoke with you guys last a couple weeks ago. Wrapped that up, and that was lovely. And now
what system did you play that on?
PS4.
Okay.
I actually got a platinum for my second.
Whoa, nice!
I remember you saying that there were some loading issues or so, like in the game, or slow down.
When I first was playing it, it is a little bit of a long slog for the reloads, especially if you die in a boss battle and have to kind of wait for the load to happen and then kind of make your way back to the boss. Like it would have been nicer if there was some sort of checkpoints before some of the boss fights that you didn't have to backtrack quite so far just to get back to them, especially since some of them can be over rather quickly. But overall, I know they had patched out a lot of the technical issues, so it didn't have the slideshow presentation that was happening when I first started playing it, when you got into some of the real heavy fights.
Okay.
I quite enjoyed that game, and I'm waiting for the expansion stuff to come out because I got the pass. So.
Nope. Your phone's going out or something. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, can you hear me?
Now I got you. Now I got you.
There you go. So no, I'm just saying, just finish it all up. The technical issues weren't that bad after the first week of playing it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just a matter of waiting for the expansion stuff with the Alan Wake tie-ins and things like that. So
yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the show, and we're running out of time here, but. Given what that is, kind of single player type thing, I'm hoping for a nice little Black Friday discount, deep discount on it, where I can pick it up.
I'm sure you'll really enjoy it.
The thing is, I went to PAX when it released, and I feel like if I hadn't gone to PAX, I'd have probably already owned it. I'd have probably picked it up, because at that time I was pretty much done with Destiny, and so I was looking for let's go do some stuff. Instead, I ended up playing God of War, or finishing up God of War. But Control was one that I was really, really looking into. And especially because a lot of people said, I can't talk about the ending until about 2 weeks out from it because the NDA said that. Don't talk about the ending until 2 weeks after the game's released. And I was curious as to what that might be referencing. And I'm getting a lot of Alan Wake vibes out of it. So I'm holding off on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not so much the ending. That's just stuff that's referenced through the game.
Right. That's what I've read. Anyway, Brock, we got to run, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Nice talking to you guys.
Take care, buddy.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That is going to wrap it up for us. So thank you so much, everybody who's joined us in the chat room and on the radio as well for listening. We always appreciate you guys listening. I know most of you probably keep it on in the background at home. Just whatever. I don't know what they're talking about, but I still appreciate it because you still come and tell me that you do that. That I don't know what you're talking about, but I keep it on, and, they're still thanks. So I still appreciate it. Go to ingamechat.net where you can find us on Twitter and Facebook, all that stuff. That's our website, ingamechat.net. You'll see everything there. where you can join up with us and find out what we're doing. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic week. At least two of us, me and RJ, will see you next week. Matt will not be here, and Nate will not be here. So it'll be me and RJ. Maybe I can get Sarah to come down. I don't even know if she's still in the chat room. Anyway, here is music from the Sinking City. We'll see you next week.